So it seems that Lightyear is doing abysmally at the box office. So Jurassic World Dominion dropped 74% from last week, but Lightyear is the real movie to laugh at this week. This movie was expected to open to $100 million, which it was never going to do, okay? Which it might have done because, of course, it's tied to the Toy Story series. Okay, I thought Toy Story 4 would open below $100 million, but it didn't. I was surprised by how well it did. But then, the wokeness side come out. People didn't like this movie. And of course, the Disney, bought and paid for critics were saying, oh, but you can't dislike Lightyear. Lightyear's a masterpiece. Okay? It made by Pixar, 10 out of 10. You must give it a 10 out of 10. Okay? Okay, it's doing way worse than Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion, when it comes to eggs, is actually doing pretty average. Basically. It's actually doing pretty average vids for a movie. It's still in the average amount for a movie. Which means Jurassic World Dominion is doing better than Lightyear. Yep, Jurassic World Dominion is doing better than Lightyear, despite having a 30% Rotten Tomatoes. And Lightyear has a... Okay, we'll go... Lightyear. Lightyear at this current moment has a 37%. Which you would think, because it's made by Disney, it's a part of a recognizable franchise, and it has a 77% Rotten Tomatoes, that Jurassic World Dominion will be doing worse. It also has a 5 out of 10 on IMDb, which again, the Disney bots and the Disney fanboys are giving it 10 out of 10s. Well, they expected the score not to go up. It will probably go up to like a 6 out of 10 or something, like at the very end of the day, because the Disney fanboys will defend this movie fiercely. They do not like the fact that people dislike this movie. They will not accept the fact that people dislike this movie. Just like The Last Jedi, just like the Lion King remake, just like the Eternals, okay? And just like Enchanto and Turning Red, okay? They can't accept that, most people don't care for these movies, okay? Enchanto, quote-unquote, underperformed, okay? And this is going to be pretty bad for Disney stock, because they're going to hear that Lightyear is underperforming. It's a huge flop at the box office. Disney Pixar's Lightyear is a huge flop at the box office. And you can compare it to a movie like Cars 2. Okay? A movie like Cars 2. And it sends a message to Disney about Lightyear. Okay? It sends a message because people don't want this stuff. People want movies that are actually good. That people actually like. And Jurassic World Dominion is doing better than Lightyear. It's doing better than Lightyear. Okay? Yes, it did better on its first day. Oh, it did better on its first day. But Jurassic World Dominion did $50 million. Okay? And Eyes opening number 2 below Jurassic World 3. Because they gotta realize this. That this opening also includes the first day previews. Okay? They include the 5.2 million in previews. Okay? And we can go back to the numbers. It has a $20 million, which includes the 5.2 million at first day preview. So it actually opened with $15 million. Which, if you look at that weekend, okay, so open with 5, it's doing worse than Jurassic World Dominion on Friday. Okay, because you look at the sales, Jurassic World Dominion did $3.4 million better than Lightyear, despite having a 30% Rotten Tomatoes. Which further proves that people don't care about Rotten Tomatoes anymore. If people don't give a crap about what these fools think anymore. Nobody gives a crap about Rotten Tomatoes. Okay? No one gives a fuck about Rotten Tomatoes anymore. If you further prove that with Sonic 2, which has worse reviews than Lightyear, Uncharted, 40%, okay, they are doing worse than Lightyear. They did better than Lightyear. Lightyear, okay, they did well. And what I mean by that, they did better. They made money, unlike Lightyear at this current moment. So Jurassic World Dominion, compared to Lightyear. Okay, Lightyear, this is Jurassic World Dominion's numbers. It has a net difference of 39 million. But this is Toy Story. It should be doing this well. But nope, it is not. It is not. And once I found out Lightyear was a woke movie, I didn't want to see it at all. I was like, oh, it's a woke movie. Don't want to see it. Goodbye. Okay. And we can add in Sonic here. Okay. Which is the movie that the media keeps comparing it to because they wanted to do worse than Sonic 2. Well, I have some sad news for you. It's doing worse than Sonic 2. Okay, it's doing $6 million worse than Sonic 2. $6 million worse than Sonic 2. Yep, you can't be making this stuff up. Okay, it's doing $6 million worse than Sonic 2. Which means Lightyear is a bona fide box office failure. It is a bona fide box office failure. And the thing is, Lightyear's budget is $200 million. Okay, so it needs to make $500 million globally to make money. Okay, it needs to make $500 million globally to make money. Okay, and compared to the last entry in the Toy Story series, okay, Toy Story 4, okay, Toy Story 4 opened with $47 million. Okay, which means that it's doing way worse than Toy Story 4. It's doing half of Toy Story's numbers, like I predicted. Okay, despite the bought and paid for critics saying it's a masterpiece. Okay, not all of them are saying it's a masterpiece. Some of them are saying it's bad, but the overall rating, it's not a masterpiece, of course. It's the overall rating 77%, which is abysmal for Pixar. Okay, it's good for any other animation studio, but for Pixar, a company that's known for creating quote-unquote masterpieces, it just seems that, like with Turning Red, there is another failure for Pixar. Of course, you have the bought and paid for critics, and the big YouTubers that could probably call it a masterpiece, defending this like Turning Red, and calling it this amazing movie that you have to go see. Okay? But even they will not protect Lightyear. Even they'll sway an opinion. It's not going to protect this movie. People are done with these woke movies. People are done with this bullshit. Okay? And what do you have coming up in a couple weeks? You have Minions: The Rise of Gru. Which, unlike, Lightyear, has some, kids are going to want to see it because it has the Minions in it. Okay? The last Minions movie made $1 billion. Of course, the last Toy Story movie made $1 billion. But if you look at the review scores on IMDb, currently it's at 8.6 on IMDb, which is far higher than the 5 out of 10 that Lightyear has. Which means this movie, it has a 7.4 on IMDb, which is still far higher than Lightyear's 5 out of 10. So, it's a 7.4 out of 10. And yeah, I think it'll probably end up around 6.7 out of 10 or 6.8 out of 10. But, which means generally people like it, but there's some mixed reactions of it. The more critical people won't like it. Or it might stay around 7.2 or 7.1 out of 10. Again, the movie isn't out yet. It's coming out on July 1st, which is in 2 weeks. Which is going to be the real test for Lightyear. Of course, the Elvis movie is coming out in between. Well, I think it's going to probably open for like $30 million, the Elvis movie. Because they're making an Elvis movie with Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. That might actually outbeat both. But the Minions movie is coming out. Thor: Love and Thunder is coming out, which I don't think anyone's really excited for that movie. And there's no real reviews out for this movie. But if you talk about, the reviews for this movie, people are saying it's just your typical Minions movie. It's your typical Minions Despicable Me movie. Which means it is not much different from the rest of the Despicable Me series. Okay? It is not different from the first movie. And what people are saying about Lightyear, the critics are saying about Lightyear is not good. It is not good. People are saying it's unnecessary. It's unneeded. It's what you guys have been saying about Toy Story 4. But Toy Story 4 is an okay movie. It wasn't as great as the first three. But it was definitely unnecessary. It was definitely unneeded. Okay? We didn't need a fourth Toy Story movie. And now we get a fifth one? Okay? Toy Story 4 made $1 billion. Let's make a fifth one. Without Woody, of course. Without Woody. Well, let's make a Toy Story movie without Woody and make it woke. Oh yeah, no one's gonna watch it. Okay, no one's gonna watch it. Okay, we compare it to the success of Sonic 2, it is doing abysmally. Now we're gonna see if it does better worldwide than Sonic 2, which might be a possibility. It does worse than Sonic 2. It does worse domestically and internationally than Sonic 2. That's basically about this video. Goodbye.